Hello and welcome to the storyMission online course. This course is the result of a calling that the Lord placed on my wife Lori and I several years ago. The program we've been delivering on our weekend retreats up to this point. We know that not everybody can get to one of those, and so we really felt convicted to take the time to put this together in the format of an online course so that anybody could access it. And so I just want to say thank you in advance for trusting us to go on this journey. It has been super impactful for us, super impactful for all the people that have gone through it. And hopefully you've taken some time to explore around our website and see the stories of some of those people. I mentioned this comes out of a calling that the Lord placed on us. That calling is to equip others, people like you, to both know and reveal the story of God in their life. This first part, the knowing, we do by leading people through God's story, and we go beyond the surface level to look at it. And then the second part is knowing your own story. We go through your story, and we do it not based on the Facebook version, but we dig beneath the surface level again. Then we show where these two things have always been meant to fit perfectly together. This is the most beautiful part of the program, when people connect the dots and they see the gospel story in their story, and they see their story inside of the gospel story. It's an amazing moment. And then the other part of that calling was to reveal this story, to be comfortable in relating with other people and telling them about the story that God has written in your life, and the fact that He's taking these challenges and turned them into this beautiful picture, this beautiful story, and using that to connect and relate with other people. And so we're really excited that you would go on this journey with us. It was birthed simply from a question. We were really fortunate that we used to spend a lot of time leading in high capacity roles in churches, and some of those were the largest churches or the fastest growing churches in the nation. We led different ministries, and one of those was the assimilation classes, the membership classes. And during one class, while we were working people through the program, we paused for a break, and on that break I asked somebody, hey, what's your story? Why did you pick today to go through this class? Or why are you seeking God in this season? What are you on the verge of, or what have you just overcome? Tell me what's your story? The feedback that I would get from that initial person, and then from each person after that, would just overwhelm me. People giving God maybe his last chance. They had been through so much. There was no answers left, and they said, okay, I'm going to go to church today and give you your last chance, God. And inevitably, whether it was something in the message or the worship, they would hear from him or feel the urge, and so they would land in this class. Once we started learning about these stories, we thought, man, we're really missing it. People are moving in and out of this room, and we're only seeing the surface level of who they are long enough to get them plugged into what hopefully is the right next step for them. Instead, what if we slowed it down a little bit and we really dug into their story, and we helped them connect the dots on these things so that that story could become even more powerful, and that maybe the next chapters of their story would be the best ones yet. So we decided to put together this program because most of the people that we were talking to were also experiencing this disconnect. A disconnect between the head and the heart is what we call it. Let me explain what this means. I say that I believe in these Christian principles. I say that I believe in the Bible, but I struggle to live that out. There's something that gets in the way consistently. Practically, what this looks like is that I go to church, I hear a powerful message, right, on Sunday. I maybe even have a really powerful experience during worship. I'm moved by that. I get in the car, round the family up, I get in the car and get ready to go. I'm mad before I even get out of the church parking lot at the driver in front of me that doesn't drive as well as I do. What's the disconnect? Why doesn't it last? Why, when somebody asked me on Wednesday what the message was about, I can't remember? How come I'm struggling to live these things out? This is what started the journey of researching into these things that consumed us. We began to pray about it. We began to have more and more conversations about it. And as we looked around, it didn't stop with the people in the pews. It was even the church leadership that was struggling to live their life out according to the calling that was placed on it. They're just broken people and struggling. And so we set out on a mission to figure it out, to go beyond the surface level and figure out what this disconnect is between head and heart. What we came up with is a collection of these experiences that we had along the way, some from those assimilation classes, some from years in care counseling, sitting with other people who were struggling, some from the educational background that it took, some from the medical environment where we got to do spiritual care and walk alongside people that were in physical pain and addressing some of the spiritual things there. So we took a collection of all of what seemed like the light bulb moments in each one of these spaces where God would show up the strongest, where the light would come on for people, a connection was built. We said, what if we put those together into one program and we walk people through it under the theme of stories and connect these stories together for the most powerful type of a story that there is, one where we would be living out our true calling with God. That's where this program comes from. We're really excited that you would give us a chance to walk through this journey with us. I can't wait for you to move through the videos. It is 9 other videos beside this one. They're only 30 minutes or so each one. I would love for you to do those individually or as a small group. This is the recipe. So the recipe we use for our retreats is we quiet the noise. We take people to a place where there's no noise pollution, no light pollution, and we ask them to unplug for a couple of days. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing, to take this material and this time, more importantly, take this time to unplug so that you can hear the voice of God as you walk through this. So we quiet the noise. We get informed. We're going to give you a bunch of information and give you a bunch of resources. You're going to need the book. The videos are free, but you're going to need the book in order to go through it because it's very interactive. So there's fill in the blanks and there's assessments that you'll do along the way, all while collecting what's called My Story at the end, which is the summary of these different things, and it equips you for this experience with God in the end. So we quiet the noise, we get informed, and then we get out of the way. That's what we say. We set the table and we get out of the way for God to do what only He can do in your life. And that's what we want to prepare you for, is an encounter with your Heavenly Father. Won't you go on this journey with us? Thank you so much.